Jedediah Jones. This is my father.
Barnaby Jones.
Together, we form a dynamic duo of private detective.
Also starring Lee Merriweather.
That's Catwoman
With
from
guest
Batman.
stars.
How can you go wrong there? She took some of Batman and Robin's utility belts. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. What's slapping in New Orleans on a Halloween? I'm dressed up as a talk radio, talk television program host. Some of you folks that check it out all the time but claim you don't like it, you're going, Corey, you've been doing that for 30 years. Guess what Jason, a.k.a. the Ragin' Cajun, a.k.a. the Man in Black, is dressed up as? It's kind of a little weird, to be honest with you. Very long. It's like, Jason, what are you dressed up as? A ghost? He's like, no, dude, I'm dressed up as a radio show producer, a.k.a. the Ragin' Cajun, a.k.a. Man in the Black, a.k.a. the Heat Magnet. I'm like, geez, dude, I'm winded. He goes, what do you think? That's a hell of a costume. It's crazy. He's dressed in black. He's got a Cajun accent. He's got Cajun blood running through his veins. He's running the controls of a radio program. I'm like, dude, that's a hell of a costume. But he says there's one problem. It's not very mobile. He's going to have to hook the console to him with some suspenders and kind of head on out. Plus, he said it's not really a girl magnet type of costume because the girl's going to be 4 feet away from you on the other side of the glass and the console. Not a good costume, he's claiming. Anyway, that's what we're dressed up as on Halloween. And we want treats, no tricks. I like the mini bag of M&Ms. Those are great, huh? You got like 20 M&Ms in that little mini bag. Perfect. How good are M&M candies? That's a pretty good candy. In Europe, I think they're called Smarties or something. I remember a few years ago in the United States, they had like mega M&M, and it was this big M&M. That's what a Smartie is. I think it's an M&M Mars product in Britain. It's just a M&M about 3 times the size, same concept, but all one color. I think they're either brown or black, maybe brown with the chocolate on the inside. Smarties, a large M&M in Britain. Anyway, that's pretty good candy. What was the best part about Halloween as a kid? Maybe trading off the candy at the end with other friends and stuff you didn't like and someone else loved and you could get something you liked from them. That was incredible. Jason, a.k.a. the Ragin' Cajun, a.k.a. the Man in Black. Do you remember those the crappiest candy ever? I don't know if you might be too young for this. It was just a black wrappered candy and an orange wrappered candy, wax paper type wrapping, the twists on either side, and no name on it or anything, nothing. It didn't say this or that or chunko this or chocolatey this or sugary that or gummy this, nothing. Just orange wrapper and black wrap. Didn't want any of that. How about that Pal gum, P-A-L gum, Pal gum? Holy smokes. That's the microwave of gums. Explosive sugar flavor for about 30 seconds. Then you're chewing on, some kind of tar rubber product. You got a favorite Halloween candy or treat? Boy, the little sweet tarts. Even the fake sweet tart. What was it, a Sweetie or something? In the little cellophane twist. There were like 20 of them. They were a little more powdery, I guess, than sweet tarts. Any mini candies are good. Like I mentioned, the mini M&Ms. Any of the little mini Hershey chocolate bar, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, Snickers. They're like one that's like an inch by an inch. Nothing wrong with that. What's your favorite Halloween candy? I don't mind candy. I can eat candy corn. I would never buy a bag of candy corn. Seems like 5 candy corns should be included like in a little bag of a certain candy maybe. I don't want to eat a lot of candy corn, but inevitably you see like a pile of it sitting at some party in a bowl or something and you grab a handful, a few fingers of candy corn. Yeah, there's some bad candy and some good candy. Sweet tarts were pretty good. Now and Laters are good. Starburst, would you get like a 2-pack? I like that Razzle thing Have you had is it Razzles? I think it's Razzles. First it's a candy, then it's a gum. Those are pretty good. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Happy Halloween. Favorite Halloween candy? Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. If you're listening on the radio, 93.9 FM. Thanks for finding us. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Heading outside of Metro New Orleans. Take the show with you on the road. 600 AM. On TV, on Cox Channel 4 television, all over Louisiana. On TV, Charter, Spectrum Channel 333, all over Louisiana. CoreyTalks.com live streaming. Hey, we're on YouTube the last few months. Check us out live on YouTube, After the Fact on YouTube. Click to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. No matter how you're checking us out. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Jason, I'm a man of habits and, doing reliable stuff that I like and that I appreciate and it's consistent. I went today to Fausto's for lunch, red beans and rice. Guess who I met at Fausto's, Jason, that came over and said she came in because of the program? 92-year-old Miss Carol from Metairie, who's picked up a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate before. Very smart lady. Experienced too. She's 92. She's been around the block a few times. And she answers some of our tough trivia questions every now and then. Anyway, that was a pleasure meeting Miss Carol today at Fausto's, who came by herself and drove her car by herself at 92 years old. No problems at all. 92 going on 52. Miss Carol, love meeting you today. So nice. So wise. So smart. Monday afternoon. Hey, tomorrow, IG Ed Michel will join us. Inspector General Ed Michel will join us. It's funny. This character that the sheriff hired that was about to get a termination letter from the mayor but resigned running the youth center in New Orleans. IG report on the youth center. This guy just didn't show up for work, was just absentee, just didn't show up. So many people in New Orleans. I don't know what the mentality is. Black and white, same mentality. This, I get a free gig with the government like so-and-so did, or my friend or relative that had the free gig with the government. I don't really have to do anything. I get paid every 2 weeks, and I don't do anything at all. Nothing. I'm a charlatan. My whole existence, it's a farce. It's a gimmick. It's a joke. I don't really work. The private sector, I'd be fired within hours. With the city, I can hide, or it's a political payback or whatever, but unbelievable. Great IG investigation. Ed Michel will join us tomorrow. I've got more on that in a few minutes. A lot going on this Monday. The executive branch of New Orleans government, I think overly powerful. The city charter change vote this Saturday. The mayor would still select his or her own top appointees, 11 department heads, but the council would have to approve 4 votes out of 7. 4-3 to approve those appointees. I have no problem with that. How is that a problem? That's how it's done in Jefferson Parish. That's how it's done in most cities and municipalities in the United States of America. Why have the mayor of New Orleans, my God, ineffective my entire life? Ineffective at best, crooked at worst. These mayors are terrible. We've been getting our ass kicked by Austin, Nashville, Charlotte, for years now. And God, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas for decades. Decades and decades and decades, just getting kicked in the knees, getting abused. Now, our mayors are a joke. They're losing head football coaches if it were LSU or Saints. So having them, the problem with the Supreme Court justices, 50 votes. 60, you can't put an extreme guy left or right or girl. No, having the council approve mayor appointees, no problem. Got to put a reasonable person up there.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your blue socks. NolaAC.com, your blue socks.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleans. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady. Yeah, you right. Back on the neutral ground. Thanks for joining us. Spread the word. Tell your family and friends. You can catch us on the radio, on television, on YouTube. If you go to my website, CoreyTalks.com, Corey Talks, Corey spelled K-A-A-R-E, CoreyTalks.com. It has all the different ways you can check out the program, including linking up to YouTube right there on the website, live streaming and the like, plus all the radio, TV hookups, all of that and more, CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Happy Halloween. You got a favorite candy? Favorite candy? You can go old school like Pal Gum. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. If you go to my Twitter @Corey Johnson, you can check out this video. This black-white stuff just gets out of control. It really is out of control. This white cop, black person thing is out of control on both sides. And so many polarizing folks. So many folks that are hardcore left or hardcore right or throw politics out. Hardcore that I'm black and it's got to be the white guy 100% wrong. I'm white. It's got to be the black guy 100% wrong. There can be no in between. There can be no what this video is all about. You have a white policeman walk up at night in some city, black guy sitting on a bench, and the cop walks up and isn't like he's like, hey, what are you doing kind of thing. Hey, what are you doing out here? That kind of comment. Like if it was said to me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what's that, officer? That's what I would have said. And he would have said, what are you doing out here? I'd be like, I'm just sitting on the bench, just doing nothing. How you doing tonight? That would have been my reply. Something like that. The officer, what are you doing out here tonight? And the black guy sitting on the bench goes, what do you think? And then it just goes from there. No one got beat up or any of that. Just the white cop was, had that was like, what kind of attitude is that? Right away was kind of like, wasn't voice raised, just kind of attitude is that, and had his light on the black guy. And black guy's like, could you move the light out of my eyes? And the cop should have and didn't, or had a dimmer light. No, I got to see you and all this. So they're both sort of just fighting for no reason. The black guy's fighting because this damn white cop's coming up to me. If I were white, this wouldn't happen. And the white cop's going up to the black guy, being like, why am I getting just these crazy responses with no respect that I'm a policeman? And then it just went from there. And another cop came, a white female cop, knew the black guy, knew that he had some candles lit about 10 feet in front that he didn't light apparently, but it was a memorial for some girl, Katrina, that it must have died right there near that bench. Maybe that was a park. So you could say the white female cop de-escalated everything by knowing the guy, knowing the girl died, seeing you here for the memorial. I mean, the white female cop even said, why aren't the candles lit? And the black guy said, because the cop here, your friend, made me put out the candles. So was the cop 100% wrong? No. Was the cop 100% right? No. It's not about 100%. It's not one got right, one's wrong definitively. What it is both people a little wrong, both people a little right, kind of the perfect storm of a belligerent attitude from each, and it just sort of took off. And it didn't take off like a raging wildfire at all. It's sort of just two people talking, and the cop has no problem being videoed. The cop's like, you can get the dash cam. My name's this. It's just... it sort of just ticked me off a little bit because the comments are, there's no one that it's all just all hardcore woke, hyper left. The cop's 100% wrong, harassing the black guy. If it were a white guy, it never would happen. You have to watch the video. Hey, what are you doing over there? What do you think I'm doing? I mean, is that how you respond to a policeman? And if your answer is, man, you don't deal with police that I deal with, you don't deal with, hey, I hear you. I don't live in an area that has a lot of crime. And in New Orleans, where violent crime is over the top, I don't live in that area. So you're right. If I did, I would be complaining nonstop. I'd have neighbors protesting. We'd be marching on City Hall in my neighborhood, no matter any socioeconomic level. I would have people organized, and we'd be like, this is ridiculous. You don't see a lot of that in New Orleans for whatever reasons. Folks are worrying about other stuff. The white devil in Metairie, I don't know what it is. It has nothing to do with that. It's, are you going to respect policemen at the beginning? And what do you think? That's the only side? Hey, policemen, you're cops. You have a higher standard than regular citizens. That's why when a criminal shoots a policeman, it's even worse than shooting a citizen, because they're like, my God, the criminal's that ruthless, he'll shoot a cop. Oh, and it works the other way too. You cops, when you commit a crime, you're police. It's worse than a citizen committing a crime because you're a cop. See how it works both ways? That's fair. That's objective. That's commonsensical. I'm not anti-white or anti-black. I'm not anti-police. I'm pro-police. It's silly. Like, who would be against them? I'm anti-red lights. I'm anti-regulation of stop signs. I'm anti-school. I'm anti-good drainage for the city. Anti-police, it's illogical. It makes no sense. Have to have some authority that is universally controlled, respected, rules and regulations, they're followed. Are they? Is it perfect? No. The majority of police are just fine. Some police are heroic. Some police shouldn't be anywhere near the police force. They just don't have the skills to be a cop. And then there are people that are crooked and morally deficient, and they're police. But it's not just, we love the no pun intended or pun fully intended. We love the black and white. It's got to be cut and dried. As human beings, we don't like mess. We don't like gray area. We want it definitively done. I remember Jim Finks. You got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. You got to have one. You got to have a starter. You can't have this flakiness with the quarterback position. Real life isn't like that. It's not the NFL, 32 teams and 20 quarterbacks in the world that can play the position. It's real life. So there's a whole lot of gray area and an absurd amount of flexibility. Trayvon Martin wasn't 100% innocent and didn't do anything wrong. I don't know, you raise your kid to some stupid white rent-a-cop loser is chasing your black child around, like, go confront the idiot, or, hey, come home to the adults and let the adults confront the idiot. And you could have easily made it home. Now, I'm not George Zimmerman's the full-blown idiot. Trayvon Martin's a kid trying to go home, sees this white guy follow him. He's like, what is this all about? Because I'm a black kid? And then they confront each other, and that's a mistake because George Zimmerman's such a pathetic loser. He's carrying a gun, and he'll use it, and he's going to get into this confrontation when he has a gun instead of calling police if he's worried about this kid or whatever. George Zimmerman's a fool. I'm not defending him 1 minute. He's the most to blame. He killed Trayvon Martin. It was ridiculous. But it didn't. George Zimmerman, 100% wrong. Trayvon Martin, 0% wrong. Just walking with his Coke and his Skittles. That's not realistic. And people want things to be that way. And a lot of white folks want Trayvon Martin to be 50-50 or worse. He's the main reason. And that's insane. This is all George Zimmerman. But Trayvon Martin has some. He escalated it a little. He wasn't perfect. He didn't do the ideal thing as a child. If you're a parent, come home. Don't go confront some loser you do not know, son. I'm white. I adopt a black son. I'm raising a black son. I'm like, son, and you're black. Some white guy, we don't know if he's racist or hate-filled, insecure, loser, wants to be Superman. Avoid that idiot. It's like you don't flip off someone driving on the road. They might pull out a gun and start shooting at you, yelling at people on the road. That's yesteryear stuff. It's 2022. Got to be smarter than that. No, all of this stuff isn't just 100% this, 100% that. And boy, social media, talk radio, people venting. Go look at this video. No, the cop, the way he approached the guy was wrong. The way the guy responded was wrong. Hey, what are you doing there? Hey, officer, how are you? What are you doing there? I'm just sitting on a bench, officer, memorial. That girl Katrina died here, and she was a friend, and you see the candles going. None of that. So bad approach by the policeman, bad answer by the citizen who happened to be black. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Hey, tomorrow Inspector General Ed Michel joins us. Got a lot to discuss, a bunch of topics when we come back. We're just getting started. I'm glad we're going till 6 because we got a ton to discuss. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480, 766-9480.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
I am the smartest man alive!
Every weekday afternoon, 4 to 5:30 on Cox Channel 4 TV and Spectrum Channel 333 television.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond, Monday afternoon. Jason's at the controls, fielding your phone calls right now via the Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Listening on radio, watching on TV, checking us out, live streaming CoreyTalks.com, YouTube, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. The executive branch of New Orleans City government, some would argue overly powerful. There's a city charter change vote that will apply for this mayor and all mayors in the future. I think it's a wise decision. You know, I mentioned the Supreme Court. I don't care if the court is more liberals or more conservatives on it. I don't want extreme liberals or extreme conservatives on it. And there was a reason it was a 60 vote number needed in the Senate to confirm a Supreme Court justice, and now it's 50. And when it's 50, the party that leads, you know, the Senate gets to put in or block their nominee or the nominee they don't like. And when it's 60, you have to have some flexibility. You got to bring over a handful of Republicans, Democrats to get it done. You got to bring over a handful of Democrats, Republicans to get it done. So you can't put in a Supreme Court justice that's extreme left or right. It's hard to do that. Now, that may end up happening. They may develop it. Supreme Court justices used to be like 98-0, 100-0. It was a joke. The confirmation was a given. And now it's, you know, this confrontational. Most cities, most municipalities in America, Jefferson Parish, for instance, the president of Jefferson Parish can pick the department heads. The Jefferson Parish Council has to approve of the selection. So can there be political power plays and agendas and things like that allowing or stopping an appointee? Of course. But also, if government is reasonable and the citizens elect normal, sane people, then the mayor in this case, or in Jefferson, the president, their government doesn't get bogged down. They can't bring in their buddy or friend or someone that's not qualified and trust me on this. If that's the case, then they're going to have to sell that to the council. And the council's going to have to be like, okay, you've sold, I believe it. And he went to Harvard. He decided to change jobs and would really be good at this. And has these qualifications on in government, but boy, they seem to slide right over and would really be applicable in this gig. I hear you. Then sell it to the council. So essentially, the mayor would still select his or her own top appointees, these top 11 department heads. The police chief, the fire chief, the sanitation director, public works, sewage and water board, all of these still selected by the mayor. The only difference this charter change makes is They don't just automatically get the gig, that pay hundreds of thousands of dollars each. These 11 department heads, it's millions of dollars of annual salary, millions at the discretion solely of the mayor. I think it's smart that you let the 7-member council, 4 members, you got to convince one more than half, 4 of 7, that these appointees are good. And then the council gets held accountable. The mayor's like, my God, this guy's special. He helped save, it's Bob Sarasoli. Help do this, help do that, da-da-da. And I want to bring him in, and the council's not allowing it. That's on the council. If you got a legitimate candidate that's, resume is fantastic and the council's going to be belligerent because of some agenda thing, you go public with it. I mean, just come on. So I don't know. You got to question, first off, the executive branch of New Orleans government. The mayor has a lot more say than the council. It's not even close. It is a strong executive branch. And I don't know about you. How old do you have to be to go back to like Walmsley or someone where you had an effective mayor in New Orleans? Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. Moon Landrieu, that was the 70s. We were kind of still on cruise control. I don't know. Hard to judge. I guess he was okay. The city grew by 300,000 folks during the 70s. I can't say, of course it had something to do with Moon, but I can't say Moon was bad. So we're going to leave him at neutral, and then it goes downhill from there. I don't know, unless you like the 80s where the oil bust came and the city wasn't diversified. And Dutch Morial's second term was nothing but failure. And that set up Sidney Bartholomew, who ran for a second term on the quietly getting the job done theme, meaning nothing's going on. Austin and Nashville and Charlotte, continue to just kick our rear ends. And then you get what after Morial? C. Ray Nagin. I mean, geez and Pete's. Mitch Landrieu. I like the airport, but then, just a lot of, I have no problem with the Confederate statues. That's a plus. It's not a negative. Who cares? You want to keep that. Living in the past. It's irrelevant. But no Microsoft, names on buildings downtown. And, Mitch Landrieu, very political, trying to appease everyone, playing the political game instead of just do it. And now you got LaToya the Destroyer. I mean, we like to lose. Let's bring J.D. North back as Saints coach. I bet you Curly Holman's still alive. Let's fire Brian Kelly and bring in Curly Holman again. Give him a second chance because we're New Orleans and we're all about second chances. Could you imagine? That's what we do. We reelect Curly Holman. That's what we do. We like losing. We want J.D. North to be the head coach. The mayor. Anyway, a charter change vote on Saturday. The mayor would still select his or her own top appointees, the top 11 department heads, his or her choices, the mayor's choice. The council has to approve them. That's it. So they have to be reasonable. That's why I was bringing up the Supreme Court with 60 Senate votes instead of 50. The president has to be reasonable with the nominee. Otherwise, they're not going to get 8 or 10, 12 votes from the opposing party, the Republicans or the Democrats. I know it's hard for you Republicans only to think about it that way and you Democrats only to think about it the other way, but that's how you got to think about it. Democrats getting 8 or 10 or 12 Republicans, and Republicans getting 8 or 10 or 12 Democrats. I know, for the extreme left and right, that's like, that's impossible. Four-wheelers. It's really unbelievable in New Orleans. Just in the last few days. And not kids and juveniles and crazy folks, like regular people. I'm by the Gentilly Paris Avenue Popeyes. I had to pull over. In the parking lot is a man sitting on a four-wheeler, a man like 40 at least. His girlfriend, wife, whatever, comes walking out with the Popeyes in the bag. She gets on her four-wheeler. You can go to my Twitter and check it out. I follow them out of the Popeyes parking lot. They ride out onto Gentilly Boulevard, hook a right. Thank God don't get on the I-10, the I-610 right there. But they beeline towards Dillard, towards Broad on Gentilly, under the I-610. The dude's driving like in the bike lane. The woman, girlfriend, whatever's in the middle lane. I'm like, I shot the video. I'm like, this is mind-blowing. No helmets, no license plates, nothing street legal. Like, I don't think the Popeyes would allow the four-wheeler through the drive-through, okay? Like Popeyes wouldn't. They pulled over and walked in the Popeyes. She walked in. He waited outside. So Popeyes won't let a four-wheeler apparently through the drive-through, but the city of New Orleans, no problem. That may have been Thursday or Friday of last week. Go to my Twitter, @CoreyJohnson. It's there. Then I posted a little video or photo of a dude in Palmer Park sitting on his four-wheeler on Old Palmer Park, Carrollton at Claiborne, sitting under an oak tree in his four-wheeler. It's just like unbelievable. Now, here's where it gets even better. Starting tomorrow, for whatever this is worth, the city of New Orleans saying we're going to do this, good or bad, come on. You can't really take it too seriously. But starting tomorrow, for whatever it's worth, the city to start cracking down on expired brake tags or expired inspection stickers for Orleans Parish residents. Now, I say for whatever that's worth, first off, there's no police manpower to be pulling people over and writing up brake tag inspection stickers that are, expired. I don't think police should be pulling over anyone unless it's egregious speeding or reckless driving. Seriously, don't have time for that. Go arrest someone shooting someone, robbing someone, committing a real crime, not someone doing 50 and a 35 or something. I'm not saying that's good. I'm saying we don't have time for that right now in New Orleans. That's what Minneapolis police can do, a city that has their stuff under control. We don't have it under control right now, violent crime. Can't worry about petty crimes like brake tags. If you're going to worry about, it's not even petty, it's dangerous. Real simple. Hey, four-wheelers, we're going to arrest you and we're going to seize your four-wheeler and you're not getting it back. We're going to arrest you. We're going to seize and sell your four-wheeler. No four-wheelers in the city limits.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, no cool spots.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground. Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Till 6 o'clock on the radio. But yeah, announcer dude's right. Till 5:30 on television. YouTube till 6. Thanks for checking us out on this Monday afternoon. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. No, I'm just laughing at the... I'm in Gentilly, Paris Avenue and Gentilly Boulevard by that Popeyes, and I'm driving by. I'm like, what? Is that for real? It's just some dude sitting on a four-wheeler, and there's another four-wheeler with no one on it next to him. And I pull over, and I shoot a little video and snap a photo or two just like in disbelief. And then a woman walks out with the bag of Popeyes and gets on the other four-wheeler, and they crank it up and drive off. So I follow them right out the Popeyes parking lot. They hook a right on Gentilly Boulevard, go into the train trellis under the I-610, heading towards Broad, heading towards Dillard University, heading towards Elysian Fields. It's just like mind-blowing. No helmets, no license plates, not street legal. Just tooling around city street. Hey, we've got to go to the Popeyes. We'll take the four-wheelers. It's unreal. Is that like a new deal? Like, can't afford a car, I'll get the four-wheeler. I mean, I remember the trailer I saw on, it was then Jeff Davis, now Doc Francis Parkway by Blue Plate Mayonnaise. I pull up by the trailer. I'm like, what's pulling this? Is this guy on a motorcycle? This dude on a moped, and had a trailer hooked to the back of the moped and had the lawnmower, the weed eater, and all that. And I was like, hey, I give him credit for being resourceful. I don't know if it's street legal, but at least the guy's trying to cut grass and make a living. People just tooling around in four-wheelers to go to the Popeyes is insane. It's crazy. It's dangerous. It's nutty. And then yesterday, I'm on Carrollton and Claiborne's by the old Palmer Park. I forget what they renamed it. And there's a dude just sitting under a tree, like, I don't know, eating or having a drink or something, sitting on his four-wheeler under the tree, like rode his four-wheeler, I don't know from where, Pigeon Town, Holly Grove, Gert Town, Carrollton, Riverbend, Old Metairie, Old Jefferson, Mid-City. I have no idea. Sitting under a tree at Palmer Park, old Palmer Park. I'm like, how can this be? I mean, like if a cop pulls up and just walks up, is the guy going to take off, run? Or will the policeman go get off the four-wheeler and need to talk to you and then arrest him and then confiscate the four-wheeler and sell it? The city sells the four-wheeler at auction. Jeez, no four-wheelers in the city. Citizens, call the city's four-wheeler hotline. Yeah, my neighbor at Main and Elm has a four-wheeler in the garage. Always on city streets with it. Doesn't have a trailer to bring it anywhere else. Wait for him to pull out. I don't know what to tell you. Have the neighbor call when he's on it. Have someone just wait by the garage when he pulls back in. Arrest him and take the four-wheeler. It would be really easy. Give citizens, hey, you're going to get 20% of the auction sale of the four-wheeler by turning in the info. Get creative with it. I don't know how to to purge the city of New Orleans from four-wheelers. Gosh, Corey, why are you worrying about that? It's just I'm going to Popeyes to get some chicken. What's it matter? There's so much more backwards, you know what stuff going on in the city than that. I hear you. It's just against the law, and it's dangerous, and it's ridiculous, and it leads to a bunch of other crap. You know, I mean, you'll have dirt bikes on the road, other vehicles, golf carts, souped up golf carts, just vehicles that aren't street legal, that are dangerous, that if they get in a wreck, the people that get hurt are going to sue the city, sue you. Why'd you ram into my non-street legal vehicle? You cut me off, whatever. Insane. Check it out at Corey Johnson on my Twitter. Yeah, and what's super ironical about this, not that this means anything, but starting tomorrow, the city says they're going to crack down on expired brake tags or expired inspection stickers. I mean, police don't have time to pull over people for just those kind of tame traffic violations. Egregious violations like four-wheelers, somebody doing 70 and zigzagging around, and dangerous driving, a danger to other people. Guy ran through 5 red lights already, almost ran over some citizens. People are calling in, yeah, the police pull that person over. That's a criminal. That's not some traffic violation. Minor traffic violations, 50 and a 45. We don't have time for that. Brake tags, expired brake tag, for real? The only way you get people with that is if it's an incidental, an add-on. You're popping them for something else that's major. But they're four-wheelers all around town. We're not going to do anything about the four-wheelers, but let's get law-abiding citizens for an expired brake tag. That's just pathetic. How about a strong message? Four-wheelers are not allowed in Orleans Parish. You will be arrested and your four-wheeler will be confiscated. Yeah, even you, the 40-year-old man and the 40-year-old woman that were at the Popeyes the other day, even you, in Gentilly on the four-wheeler, even you, sirs, that guy's like 50 under the tree on Palmer Avenue. On Claiborne and Carrollton at the old Palmer Park. That dude was like 50. These aren't kids. It's not the Plaquemine Parish kid running over the deputy. These are adults, 40, 50-year-old adults tooling around on four-wheelers in the city. Insane. Boy, selfish drivers. I got behind one today. Stops in the middle of the road, blocks traffic on an uptown street like Maple to let a passenger get in the car. And the passenger's 30 yards away walking to the vehicle. I'm going, are they waiting on this person? And there's a place to pull over on the right. So I have to wait, and then they proceed to, I don't know, get online, start tweeting, start talking. I have no clue. Doing about 12 on these uptown streets are 20, even a 25. Can be a 25. Doing 12 and being belligerent. Behind me is 8 cars, you know. Just people don't care. People are selfish, do not care. I look at my rearview mirror. I don't care if it's a belligerent fool. What am I, here to teach them a driving lesson? I'm getting out of their way. Might be some lady having a baby, a guy at a track meet has a javelin stuck in his neck. He's trying to get to the hospital. Maybe it's a lunatic just going too fast. He's going to shoot at me in a second. Yeah, get out of the way. Let him get out of the way. It's over with real quick. Don't try to control some other driver. People are nutty. 5 o'clock power hours next, including a Martel Monday. 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM,
Rouse's,
New Orleans.
New Orleans Grocery Store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans Grocery Store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you?
Yes.
We got some work.
How crazy this is, our intro in the 5 o'clock power hour, considering I drove the Good Times van here. It's got a little muffler problem. I'm going to have to get that fixed. This thing's from like 1976. It's an old GMC van, all rusted out. You probably see me tooling around town with the home window unit sticking out of the side door, an air conditioning unit. It's our camper. All right, where's Drew Brees? Number 9, bail us out. There he is, Mr. Drew Brees, number 9. Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks for checking us out, New Orleans. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. We got you covered. River parishes, Cajun country. We got you covered. Hey, Southern Mississippi, Southern Alabama, Panhandle in Florida. You guessed it, got you covered. Thanks for checking us out. Our radio home, oh so fine, 93.9 FM, 93.9 FM. Learn it, love it, live it. Make it one of your presets. Oh so fine, 93.9 FM. Till 6 p.m., 4 to 6 every weekday on the radio. 90 minutes fun on the television set. We're on Cox Channel 4 throughout Louisiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and beyond. 4 to 5:30 weekdays. You Charter Communications subscribers, Spectrum subscribers, Spectrum Channel 333, every weekday afternoon starting at 4 p.m., 4 p.m., 4 p.m. Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 to 5:30 weekdays. CoreyTalks.com. That's our website. You can find out about television, radio there, CoreyTalks.com, live streaming there. Link up with our YouTube channel there. Or go to YouTube, put Corey Johnson Neutral Ground in that search bar, and you're checking out the program live on YouTube, audio and video. Yeah, you right, like television. And you can check out yesterday's program last week via the podcast, all on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Check us out. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon brought to you by Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. Best quality, best price, best selection. It's South Louisiana and New Orleans grocery store, period, end of story. No one has more grocery stores in South Louisiana than Rouse's. No one in Metro New Orleans has more stores than Rouse's. There are over 60 Rouse's. There are over 20 in Metro New Orleans. A third of all Rouse's stores are in Metro New Orleans. There's one right next to your neighborhood. There's one in your neighborhood. There's one in the neighborhood away from your neighborhood. You head home from work, you might pass 2 or 3 Rouse's on the way home. Rouse's Market tastes like home. 5 o'clock powwow brought to you by Rouse's Markets. Happy Halloween. Hey, you got a favorite Halloween candy? I'm going easy today. Just give me a favorite Halloween candy, and I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. No trick, all treat. What's your favorite Halloween candy? I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse for you. 4 area locations, a 5th, Mandeville, coming online soon. To find out more, go online, nola.woodhousespas.com. The mini bag of M&Ms is pretty tough to beat. I don't know. That's a winner, right? The 10, 20 M&Ms in the little mini M&M bag. Any of those mini Snickers, 3 Musketeers, what's wrong with that? There's some weird products that seem to only pop up around Halloween. Pal gum, P-A-L gum. That gum you put in your mouth like, wow, this is great. And then 20 seconds later, you're like, I'm chewing a rubber band. It is an explosive amount of sugar that goes away fast. It's Pal gum. I never understood what those black or orange wax paper wrapped candies were that had no name, no ingredients, no nothing. Those were terrible. I didn't even mess with those. Trading your candy, dumping out your bag on the floor next to your brother, sister, friend, cousin, whatever, neighbor, trading candies, finding someone who loved the stuff you didn't like and disliked the stuff you loved, and you could make a great trade. Made your Halloween take even better. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Those little mini Hershey bars, like an inch by a half inch, roughly, maybe a quarter inch thick. I mean, you got the Hershey, you got the Special Dark, you got the Crackle. Nothing wrong with any of those, huh? I like the Hershey Silver Bells or whatever. Those are good. Hershey's Drops. What's your favorite candy? Sweet Tarts. The big candy shrunk into small sizes for Halloween are great. The candy companies must love it because it's just hyper expensive for less product. That Razzle gum, it's like a sweet tart that turns into gum. It's like first it's a candy, then it's a gum. You get like 2 or 3 of those. The little 2 or 3 sweet tart pack's good. The sweet tart impersonator, I think it's called a sweetie, comes in the little, you twist little cellophane with like 20 little sweet tart type things. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Rouse's Market's phone lines 504-766-9480. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Honest, air conditioning experts that come immediately. I don't know what else you need, huh? Air conditioning and heating experts that are honest, that come right away. If your AC or heat's not working right, making a funny noise, not working well enough, or worse, not working at all, don't stress out. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys from River City's Total Maintenance are there. Find them online, NOLAAC.com, NOLAAC.com. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. It's pretty amazing in New Orleans how much power the executive branch has, the mayor. And it's not LaToya or Mitchlander or Nagin, it's just the executive branch. A city charter change vote this Saturday would give the city council final approval on the mayor's appointees, the top 11 department heads, NOPD chief, the fire chief, and not the ones that are presently in power, future appointees, mostly future mayors, or any future appointee this mayor, or if she's recalled, a new mayor would put in there, sanitation director, Department of Public Works, Sewage and Water Board. The mayor would still select his or her own top appointees. The council would have to approve them. This is what goes down in Jefferson. This is what goes down in most cities around the United States of America. The council in New Orleans, it would be 4 of 7 votes. Simple majority. 4 of 7. It just makes it a little more of an honest system. If it's a legitimate candidate and the council's playing political games, I think that would be figured out after a while. And then people are going to vote in different council people, especially if the mayor's righteous and the selection was righteous. Or if the mayor's trying to throw up her sister or brother or something with no qualifications, maybe the council's like, no, I'm not going to have this. It's millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for all these department heads in annual salary. I'm not saying they're overpaid. They make a lot more than most people do in New Orleans working. They make a lot more. And you can't say they work harder than a lot of other New Orleans. Is a lot more maybe at stake? Sure. So they all make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. So it's millions of dollars that the mayor gets to throw out to like 11 people. It's a powerful position. You give it to legitimate people, chances are 4 of 7 council people will be reasonable and give the green light on those. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Brett Martel is going to join us in a few minutes. A Martel Monday. I got a lot more to cover, though, on the program. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? It's Monday. The day's winding down. The work day's in the books. Sit at the bar with some New Orleans characters. Sit at a table and enjoy a great dinner. Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now?
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog
Whoops. Don't step in that. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. Yeah, you right. Happy Halloween. Halloween, an excuse for women to dress like prostitutes. Hooray! Scantily dressed ladies on Halloween. Hooray! I'm a hooker tonight. That's a great outfit. Well, no, make it more of the hooker outfit. Oh, boy. Anyway, hey, tomorrow Inspector General Ed Michel will join us on the program. Just absolutely insane, just the mentality of a lot of folks in the city of New Orleans. It's a joke, and we tolerate it all the time. It's incredible. This Keyshawn Webster, who ran the Juvenile Justice Center, the executive director, never went to work, never was there. When he was there, he brought his dog and made employees walk the dog and crap like that. Was getting terminated by the Destroyer. I mean, does that say it all? LaToya the Destroyer was firing this guy, sending him a termination letter. He finds out about it and quickly resigns. Like that's going to save his reputation. Apparently it did. Susan Hudson hired him. And then Keyshawn Webster's mother worked for the sheriff, making $155,000 a year, doing absolutely nothing. $155,000 a year. It's like $13,000 a month. $13,000 a month. $500 a day for doing nothing. Nothing. It's crazy. I mean, is there a major person that this sheriff has hired? Communications director, disbarred lawyer. I mean, is there anyone she's hired that's not fired, terminated, resigned, disbarred? Just, it's the island of misfit toys. It's the Charlie in the box. It's the train with the square wheels. It's unbelievable. Talk about dysfunction. The sheriff, my God, man. It's mind-blowing. It's unbelievable. Really is. Hey, Saturday, a charter change vote. The mayor would still select his or her own top appointees, the top 11 department heads, fire chief, police chief, sanitation director, Department of Public Works, Sewage and Water Board. Those directors, the choice of the mayor. The only difference is they're not automatically given the gig. 4 of 7 council people have to approve that person. Just makes the mayor put up a more legitimate candidate, right? Because it goes under the scrutiny of the council, not just, I'm going to put my brother in there. 4-wheelers, not kids or young adults, but regular folks like 35, 40, 45, 50 years old. Honestly, I think in some parts of New Orleans, I can't afford a car. I'm tired of riding the bike. I can afford a 4-wheeler. I'll get that as my basic transportation. The great part is don't have to pay insurance, don't have to get a license plate, don't have to register it, all this. Just register it as a 4-wheeler, like I'm putting it on a trailer and going to the country and riding it. The city of New Orleans has a major problem with 4-wheelers. I'm not looking for them. They pop up. I'm like, really? I'm on Gentilly and Paris Avenue. I see it, 2 4-wheelers parked at the Popeyes in the parking lot. I'm like, is there some radio remote going on here? What is this? Is this the gardening crew? Those are Gator vehicles. They're picking up trash or something. Some dude's sitting on one and the other one's empty. I'm like, what's going on? This lady walks out with a bag of Popeyes, jumps on the other one, they ride away. You can check out the video. I follow them out the Popeyes parking lot. They hook a right the only way they can go on a Gentilly Boulevard. Thank goodness, don't get up on the 610 on-ramp. Go under the train trellis, under the 610, beeline towards Dillard, towards Broad Street, towards Elysian Fields. Insane. Check out the video. If that's not enough, a few days later, like yesterday, I guess, I'm Palmer Park, the old Palmer Park, Carrollton at Claiborne's. Some dude sitting under a tree, like taking a break, sipping on some water, eating a snack or something, sitting on his four-wheeler under the tree. This dude's like 50, like a 50-year-old man. Now, this is where it gets great. Starting tomorrow, for whatever this is worth, the city's going to start cracking down on expired brake tags or expired inspection stickers on cars. They don't have the manpower, the police, to do that. Police have enough trouble pulling over speeders and, people driving insane. So the city, I mean, as an incidental, sure. Get pulled over for crazy driving, doing 65 and a 35. You're getting pulled over and ticketed up. Write up as many tickets as you can. He's got an expired license plate. Hit him for that. No brake tag. Hit him for that. But four-wheelers, like the husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, tooling around in their four-wheelers, leaving the Popeyes with their lunch and riding on Gentilly Boulevard by Paris Avenue towards Elysian Fields, towards Broad Street, on two four-wheelers is insane. No license plate, no helmets, just beyond not street legal, beyond illegal. And then the cat sitting under the tree at Palmer Park. This is so simple. Forget about expired brake tags and inspection stickers. You can say you can enforce that, but also say, hey, you folks tooling around the city on four-wheelers, it's against the law. Two things are going to happen. Three things, actually, three. We're going to eventually catch you. Two, we're going to arrest you. No matter what, we're going to arrest you. And three, we're going to confiscate your four-wheeler and sell it. And we're keeping the money, the city of New Orleans. And here's an incentive. You neighborhood folks, turn in your neighbor that has the four-wheeler. Give us the address. Give us the, where they are. We use that tip and have someone, you call us like when the four-wheeler leaves. We'll go have a cop go drive under there uncover and park. And when the four-wheeler comes back, we'll arrest the owner, confiscate the four-wheeler. When we sell it at auction, we'll give you 20% of the proceeds for the tip. I don't know what the gimmick is, but give people, citizens, an incentive, because apparently just the neighbor having the four-wheeler and tooling around town doesn't matter in New Orleans. They're cool with it. Now, that's the problem. That's the whole theory of, de-densifying the projects, mixed housing. You got some folks on government subsidies. Some folks have a lower rent. Some folks paying the full market rent. Police living in the neighborhood. You get a diverse group. You get a realistic gumbo of people. Realistic, not one group, all the same socioeconomic level, all seeing how the other side that's like them lives, and no winners, no people bringing in money. I shouldn't say no winners, no people bringing in money, and no real reference points or other people to look at as like, that's what I should be. That's the way you do it. That's how you live. Instead, you got your neighbor tooling around the four-wheeler. You're like, yeah, what the hell? I mean, we got a broken New Orleans and Louisiana. We have folks that live vicariously through like Edwin Edwards and John Alario types. I mean, really got to have problems. Anyway, no, turn in the four-wheeler if you see them. And it's crazy. We're going to crack down on brake tags. No, four-wheelers need to be notified. Hey, you four-wheel riders. A, they're illegal. B, we're going to eventually catch you. C, we're going to arrest you. And D, we're going to sell your four-wheeler. Enjoy it. Boy, speaking of selfish drivers, the Carrollton Avenue phenomenon, basically in between, it's coming out of the Holly Grove neighborhood. It would be in between like Xavier and Earhart, in between like Palmetto, Washington, and Earhart. Coming out of the Holly Grove neighborhood, coming on to Carrollton. there can be someone on the neutral ground, which clearly only holds one car. And some people don't fit in the space and will block the left lane of the traffic lane because they're not taking up the entire neutral ground space. Or worried about my front end getting clipped by the oncoming Carrollton traffic, so I'm going to leave a 10-foot space and leave my rear end in that left lane on Carrollton. I love the jerks on Holly Grove that ride across and block the left and middle lane, and they just do it. There really needs to be like, you want to put some traffic cameras somewhere? Put them on the 810 blocks aiming outside of Holly Grove towards Pigeon Town, and snap photos of folks that pull into Carrollton when there's a car on the neutral ground and block the lane. It's obnoxious. Equally as obnoxious, how about when you're on Veterans and someone's hooking the U-turn, and instead of merging onto traffic, they're basically doing a U-turn and want to hook in immediately a right. They want to go, what would that be, 90 degrees across Vets to something straight across from the U-turn lane. Don't go a block farther down, a block out of your way, I guess. Do a U-turn. You got a block and a half to merge over to the right. And then you can pull into your place by using your right blinker. Instead, they hook the U-turn. They got like a 100-yard lane where you can accelerate and merge into Vets traffic. They're dead stopped. Right past the little, plastic sticks that are mounted to the ground that are supposed to stop you from hooking that 90-degree right. No, just selfish drivers. The folks that block Carrollton coming out of Holly Grove, folks up and down Veterans that won't go a block farther down, hook their U-turn and fade into traffic and merge over to hook a right. Sit there and stop where I'm going straight. Why are you stopped? Merge in with traffic. I'm hooking a right. And he should have gone down another block because there's no hooking a right. I was driving down Maple today. This Jeep just stops in the middle of Maple. I see this girl like 50 yards away walking towards the Jeep. I said, is this Jeep stopping to pick up the girl 50 yards down the street? When on the left and right up at where the girl is, the Jeep could have pulled over. So I sit behind this Jeep, and some bumper stickers on the Jeep said exactly what the Jeep person was like. It's kind of brilliant how sometimes bumper stickers are just this self-fulfilling prophecy. So then the selfish driver does about 9 to 12 miles an hour down Maple Street, which is a 20 minimum, really a 25. Uptown streets, it's a 25. Just selfish to stop, selfish to drive 9 miles an hour. I look at my left rear view. It's my side view mirror is 8 cars behind me, right on my tail. I'm like, hey, I'm doing the best I can. Now, I'm not concerned about them. It's not my fault. But the belligerent Jeep driver, a lot of selfish drivers. River Road today, a weird kind of, we're doing 35. All of a sudden, dead stop. I'm looking, there's nothing in front. Going to let someone pull in or let the other lane turn. It's like, that's fine when we're doing 5 miles an hour. Or, you're coming off of a dead stop and you're going to let someone go. That's fine. Doing 35 and hitting the brakes to stop within a half a block to let someone turn or come in just because you want to be nice when there are 50 cars behind you is insane. It's insane. That's not being nice. It's being a dangerous driver. I'm going to stop and let them in because there's so many cars. They can figure it out. They'll merge in when there's a gap, just like you did when no one let you in. I'm not saying be mean. You let people in when it's not interfering with the drivers behind you, or it's minimal. It's just bright light going in, got to stop for a second. But going down a street, regular speed limit, and stopping in the middle of the road by your choice, and hey, it's a 1 lane, everybody behind me is going to have to stop. That's just crazy. Some selfish drivers out there. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Latrum's with you. the global manufacturing giant. A culture of innovation at Latrim. They invented the shrimp peeling machine. That led to the even bigger invention, the all-plastic modular conveyor belts. Both the shrimp peeling machine and the all-plastic modular conveyor belt, the industry standard around the world. I'm not making that up. There's no better shrimp peeling machine than a Latrim shrimp peeling machine in the world. There's no better conveyor belt systems than Intralocks, part of Latrim, in the world. This is a New Orleans born and bred based company, a New Orleans man, J.M. LePere, that invented all this stuff. It truly is a culture of innovation at Latrim, and they're hiring. You East Bankers, you West Bankers, they got you covered at their Elmwood facility. You North Shore folks, they got you covered at their Hammond facility. Go online, Latrim.com, Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, for a full listing of positions available, Latrim.com.
If you or a loved one are suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here. He comes in once a month and gets his little booster, because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his tremors in his hands stopped. So he said, Paula, your major marketing challenge is that it's too good to be true. But it's true. It truly is true. We can't say that all of these things have a cure, but these things happen and they're real.
Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
Make the call, 504-291-4000, 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center, springfieldwellnesscenter.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top bench of more exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground in Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM and live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City. Thanks for joining us. Corey Johnson with you till 6 o'clock. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940. A New Orleans institution. If you like your dry cleaner, stick with them. You want to experience the best dry cleaner in the business? Old school walk-up locations. Today's preferred method of dry cleaning. Free pickup and delivery. Or the future of dry cleaning. Young's manless locker locations all over the metro area. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Happy Halloween. Yeah, you're right. Hey, you got a favorite candy? 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Yeah, you got a favorite candy for Halloween? I got, I'm sure there's some killer high-end chocolate, I guess. If you had me choose, I'd pick it over M&M's, but I don't know. M&M's are pretty damn good. Candy coating. I like M&M's. You got a favorite Halloween candy? Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. Saturday, a charter vote change. The mayor would still select his or her own top appointees. The council would have to approve it. 4 of 7 votes. 4-wheelers all over the city, yet the city wants to enforce brake tags on cars. Hey, get rid of the 4-wheelers first, huh? Selfish drivers. Hey, Brett Martel is going to join us from the Associated Press in a moment, but Patrice joins us in the meantime. What a great name. How you doing, Patrice?
I'm doing fine.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Happy Halloween to you, too.
Yeah, you're right. Happy Halloween to you. You dropped out for a second, but I got you now.
Okay.
Yeah, what you doing? What you dressing up as, Patrice?
I'm going to be a Kit Kat.
Nice. All right.
A Kit Kat candy.
Chocolate on the outside, a nice crunchy cookie center, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right, Patrice. All right. What's on your mind?
Just waiting for those little kids to knock on the door.
There you go. What were you calling to tell me your favorite candy's a Kit Kat?
Yes.
That's a pretty Kit Kats are pretty good.
They're delicious.
I'm not going to fill you in on the bad news about a Kit Kat though, Patrice.
Oh, well,
I think they've got, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's something, it's not bad. It's not like some bad ingredient. I think they just have like an insane fat content or something insane. Like,
oh yeah, you can't eat too much.
I think they're kind of oily or something. Yeah, you can healthier, like a Hershey bar or something, but not that that's healthy. Dark chocolate's supposed to be really healthy for you. Like,
yeah, I like dark chocolate too.
Then you should just enjoy that stuff. You get something that's like 70% or more cocoa. Milk chocolate's like 30%. So something that's like 60, 70% cocoa, that's like healthy for you.
Yeah, that's delicious.
Hey, Patrice, you want to head to the Woodhouse Day Spa?
I would love to go to the Woodhouse Day Spa.
What part of town do you live in?
In the lakefront area.
Oh, nice. You could go to Mid-City, Canal at Carrollton, or maybe the Metairie location, Transcontinental at West Esplanade. They're probably,
Mid-City is a good place.
There you go. Hey, Patrice, I'm going to tighten you up. You want to hang on a second?
I sure will.
Give me another yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
There it is. Woot. There it is. Thanks, Patrice. Hold on. Patrice is heading to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Her favorite Halloween candy, Kit Kat. They got the little mini Kit Kat, and it's 2 of them. I think you have to snap it apart. I don't think it's one long tube. I think it's 2 of them. 2 little mini Kit Kats. Let's see what Brett Martel from the Associated Press, what Brett's favorite Halloween candy is. Brett, I'm partial to the little mini bag of M&Ms.
Yeah, I like the Reese's peanut butter cups.
There you go. Good call, Brett. Little individual Reese's peanut butter, little mini ones. The old Halloween special.
Full size ones. I don't care.
Brett, we're close to the same age. How about that crappy Pal gum? Do you remember the PAL gum, Pal gum?
Oh, I remember it all too well from Little League.
It was like, it's like microwave gum. You bite into it, you're like, my God, this is so good. And 10 seconds later, all the sugar's gone.
Yeah, that lost its flavor real quick.
The shortest lived gum at all.
When you first bite into it. Pretty hard when you first bite into it.
Yeah.
And pretty rubbery about 10 seconds later.
It is. It's, this thing's rough and hard. And then you're like, oh, gosh, tasty and full of sugar. And then, oh, my God, there's nothing left. Yeah, right. Old Pal gum. Do you remember the wax paper candy in the black wax paper? The other was in the orange and had no name, no ingredients, none of that. Was that around when you were a kid in Maine, or that was some bad New Orleans experience?
I don't recall that.
Brett, I'm assuming you had some cold Halloweens every now and then in Maine.
Yeah. This time of year in Maine back in the 70s when I go trick-or-treating, it was, yeah.
That might be why New Orleans is like such a great, especially for adults, such a great Halloween destination. Halloween's sort of a excuse for women to dress up like hookers and the like. So you can't do that when it's 40 outside. So Halloween in New Orleans, scantily dressed ladies.
I might have continued trick-or-treating well into my teens if that was the case in Maine.
Exactly. Hey, Corey, you're 32, dude. Do you really have on that costume? Yeah, I really do. And I'm saying trick or treat. Oh, boy. I don't know what I'd want, the trick or the treat. That makes it confusing as well. Brett Martel's with us from the Associated Press. Another Martel Monday. Hey, Brett, how about that impressive Saints win? I threw up a graphic from the TV guys with like 5 minutes left. Raiders hadn't crossed midfield at that point. Raiders had 112, 118 total yards, something like that. And with about 5 minutes left in the game, the Saints held like a 12, 13-minute time of possession advantage at that point. Just total domination. It made me think about the LSU Alabama national title game when LSU didn't cross midfield the whole game. I mean, NFL game, Raiders don't cross midfield till about 3 minutes left in the game, and they're down 24-zip. Unreal.
Yeah, as long as I've covered the NFL, I don't recall a team being held in its own. I mean, I think the only game I've ever covered in college or pro was the Alabama national championship game you referenced, where a team,
never got into the other team's territory.
Yeah, and so when Tyrann Mathieu was up there, I mentioned that to him. I said on the podium, I said, if I'm reading the stats right, they didn't across midfield into their final drive of the game. I said, how often does that happen in your experience, and how much has to go right for a defense for that to happen? And he said he thought it was pretty rare, but he didn't say anything about the 2011-12 national title game. So, maybe he didn't want to go to a bad memory and after such a good victory. But anyway, yeah, I do think look, I've covered a lot of games. That seemed to me like one of those games where one team played great and the other team was terrible. It wasn't just that like the Raiders came in firing on all cylinders and there was just nothing they could do. They made a lot of mistakes and they just looked like they looked like they were having a bad day. Like nothing they did went right. Untimely penalties, poor execution. David Carr had happy feet the whole game. Now the Saints defense,
Saints D was all over him the whole game, Brad. They would crush him.
The Saints defensive front deserves a lot of credit for David Carr having such horrible footwork and making so many inaccurate passes.
Yep,
I will say that. And then the Saints offense deserves credit for taking Josh Jacobs out of the game, because once they were playing from behind, they couldn't really run the ball they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. There's no doubt. That's a good point.
That being said, even when they tried to run the ball in the first half,
they weren't getting a lot. Back there. No, the Saints had a good defensive game plan. There's no doubt. Yeah. Andy Dalton tore it up. Andy Dalton had a very, very solid game. Alvin Kamara, a great game. It's scary to think when the Saints get both of their starting wide receivers back and Lattimore at corner, I mean, they're going to be an improved ball club.
Well, I think one of the main reasons that Dalton is in there is because the Saints believe, and especially Pete Carmichael, who's been involved in that offense for years, ever since Alvin Kamara arrived in 2017, the Saints believe that Alvin is the centerpiece of the offense right now. And since Andy got in, Alvin's catches and yards in the passing game are way up. In the two games that he played, the first and third game of the season, he played with Jameis Winston, and he had a total of 5 catches for 19 yards in those 2 games. And since then, he's got, I have to look at it again, but it's over 20 catches for 268 yards, I think.
Hey, Brett, up next, the Ravens were 3-3. They've ripped off 2 wins straight. They're 5-3. The Saints have a 1-game win streak now, or they're 3-5. Baltimore invades the Dome this Sunday at noon. This is a big one. You get by the Ravens, and all of a sudden you're like, this season has turned around.
Yeah, it's potentially a very pivotal game, because if now the Ravens are good.
Yep.
So if the Saints lose because the division's so weak, it's not like the season's over.
That's right. That's
you
right.
Have this feeling where they're kind of still treading water, and you don't know if they're going to get back into it or not.
But you don't like falling to 3-6. It's just you're digging this hole that X amount of games are left. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but they have a lot of winnable games come out after Baltimore. So,
Yeah, they've got after Baltimore's Pittsburgh. That's a very winnable game. But boy, you beat Baltimore, you beat Pittsburgh, you're 5-5 all of a sudden, Brett.
Right, and then they have 3 more games in the division, including against first place Atlanta, who's 4-4.
You get back in the NFC, you get back in the division. Yeah, that's huge.
Right now, there's a lot of hope, but they have an extra day to prepare. They had several extra days to prepare for this past game. They have one extra day to prepare for the upcoming game.
Yep, Monday night next week. That's right. That's a good back-to-back.
They probably won't have Mark Ingram, but they should be relatively healthy.
You may have to pick up a running back during the week. Who knows? Depending on what they do with Mark Ingram. Impressive Saints win. Brett, it was pretty cool. Saints, I don't want this every week, but I don't ever recall it happening ever. I'm trying to think, was there a 5 o'clock NBA tip-off when the Saints played at 3:25? Maybe there was something like that. A 6 o'clock tip-off when the Saints started at 3:25, maybe. But I've never remember a noon Saints kickoff and a 2 p.m. Pelicans tip-off. Pels on the road, not at the Smoothie King Center next to the Dome, but Saints are in the third quarter and the Pels tip-off against the Clippers in L.A. and get a nice win.
Yep, and it may have been good timing because the Pelicans had a really bad first quarter anyway, so you could have stayed with the Saints, through the end of that game, and then turned to the Pelicans game right when they started to play
Plus, I think it was 52 all at the half, Brett, so it was like 0-0. You're just catching the second half. They're all tied up. I think it was 52 all at half yesterday. So you go from the Saints to Pels, you catch the third and fourth quarter, it's like a new game at 0-all, you know?
Yeah. And obviously Zion's return influenced that game heavily and, bodes well for the rest of the road trip. They obviously have the Lakers, and they'll be more expected, I think, to beat the Lakers at this point than the Clippers.
I get a little pseudo giddy when Zion brings the ball up the court, Brett.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a badass.
The point Zion is an interesting look.
There's never been a guard or an NBA player bring the ball up the court as often as Zion does, that size. Barkley never did it. I mean, there's no one like that. That's insane.
Yeah.
Shaq couldn't handle the ball to do it. There's no one like that. LeBron James, obviously, but I mean, Zion Williamson is just a load. It's impressive. Anyway, that was a nice win against the Clippers. Lakers? It's weird, the NBA with these gaps now, huh, Brett? This you would think would be tomorrow night, maybe even tonight, but it's Wednesday night. What a big gap for the Pels on the road out in LA.
Yeah, I'm sure they hate having 2 free days in Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Brett, you were 80 miles upriver, right, today?
I was.
Number 15 LSU, 6-2. Number 6 Alabama, Saturday Night Live in Tiger Stadium. I like what Kelly's doing. It's pretty smart today. He's literally basically saying, hey, I'm buttering up the opposition's coach. Happy birthday, Nick Saban. He's like, it's kind of funny.
Happy birthday. Then he said Saban's arguably the greatest coach in college football history. So I wish him happy birthday and said he was the greatest there ever was.
That's a good, he's like, but he even says, I'm trying to soften him up a little.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was kind of joking, but it was funny. I mean, it's good that he has a sense of humor about it. I think he knows that LSU is not supposed to win this game, but he's not going to just give it away either. I mean,
it opened at like 14.5. It's still, 11.5 or 12.
Right. And look, I mean, Alabama has been a well-oiled machine for years and is a national title contender.
Yep.
They had a few slip-ups this year, but I mean, it's important to remember that they were playing with like a backup quarterback too at that time. And look, LSU's playing its best football lately. They're at home. Could be interesting, but I as long as I've covered LSU, there's been a number of years where LSU was in the hunt when they played Alabama, and they were playing well enough that you could hype it up as a meaningful game.
Yep.
And then it just didn't turn out to be all that competitive, and Alabama won. Like in 2018 would be a good example.
I mean, from 08, 09 through about the 14 season, 15 even, it was the most highly anticipated college football game in America, and it wasn't even close. It was clearly the number one game. Yeah, they'll do it again. I love that it's Saturday night. It's kind of funny, Brett. CBS gets that first choice. Georgia's 1, Tennessee's 2. Thank God they're playing each other this weekend. That's the 2:30 game. It allows, the folks to get juiced up and make Tiger Stadium as obnoxious as it can be. Hey, Tulane takes on Tulsa. What a great Final Four game stretch for the Wave. UCF's now top 25. Cincinnati, the season finale could be for all the marbles. They're a top 20 team. Tulane's going to get a lot of attention the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's fun to have Tulane ranked and playing high-stakes games in November. We're definitely not used to that around here, and I'm really looking forward to see how they handle it. Signs are pointing up, though, for them, so it should be interesting.
Yep. Hey, Brett, any final thoughts until next week?
Just that it's going to be, a great weekend for college football fans now. Saints playing on Monday night. The Pelicans have a big game on Friday against Golden State Warriors. It's going to be a interesting weekend.
Yeah, LSU's playing good. Tulane's playing good. Pels are playing good. Saints are on the rebound. All is good in sports land. Brett, how can we check you out, your articles and the like via the AP?
Yeah, get the AP News app on your smartphone. News from all over the world, from the Ukraine war to the whole national sports landscape. And, you do the little search for Louisiana sports, LSU, Saints, whatever, and my article should come up.
Yep. Brett, thanks so much, man. We enjoy it every week. Thanks for joining us.
You got it, Corey. Great show.
That's Brett Martel from the AP. That's Blue Boy barking, saying Fury's is open till 9. What's that, Blue Boy? Start with onion rings, get turtle soup or gumbo, and what? Speckled trout, what? Snapper, yeah. Flounder. Blue Boy, you nailed it. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, open till 9. 93.9 FM, New Orleans. See you tomorrow. Ed Michelle, IG, joins us. Good boy, Blue. Good boy.